YouTube. This is Dr. Wanda, and I wanted to sit down for a Thursday chat. Now, I had started the process of trying to chat 5 days a week, and I fell out of that cycle because after having a great um, weekend and going to a repat party, where I haven't been in the pool in forever. I got in the pool and my locks got wet, and it was in the evening. And this is Ghana's rainy season, so my hair got wet, which ended up giving me an upper respiratory infection. So you can even hear the raspiness in my voice. I ended up with a cold. So I'm just now here Thursday feeling well enough um, to actually have a chat. And I had some stuff on my mind that I wanted to share with you. So it's nice to be back. This chat is actually directed toward an update about whether or not I'm staying or going, and should I stay, what will be the next steps for me. Um, Two people put something heavy on my mind. Pastor Tony Boache and a gentleman named Don Slim, who were really, really solid about their position that I need to consider starting my own school. This is a long time private wish of Isaac's. He has said that from day one, once he knew my level of passion for education and my credentials and just a lot of the creative things I bring to the education landscape that he hasn't seen here. He's always encouraged me in that way. But it was really interesting, these two listeners concluding, excuse me, that also was something I needed to consider. So the universe is a funny kind of energy. If you put it out, it has to come back, and that's an unfailing law. So where am I at? It's been March since I worked for Concordia University, so to say March, April, May, June, July, August. So we're talking almost 6 months. And I've sustained myself in Africa based off of Wonderland's Naturals, which is really doing well. I really enjoy it. A little bit of the cafe, although I downsized the cafe to just allowing the children to come and learn and enjoy, um, so that I wasn't actually spending money, because to run a cafe I had to spend money in order to make money, whereas with Wonderland's Naturals I do spend some money with my seamstress and a little bit of this for this or that, but primarily I make more money than I actually have to send out. So the focus is on Wonderland's Naturals, and I've been kind of blessed that that's doing really well, and I'm learning every single day about Ghanaian goods, artifacts, things that people are interested in that can sell. So that's one aspect. But the fact that I haven't worked for the university, let me get to the meat and potatoes of this conversation. The fact that I haven't worked for the university, and I'm not fired and I'm not laid off, which means that I cannot get unemployment if I were to go back to the States. I would be going back to what? So it hit me really hard. I'm like, wow, I'm going to go back. I'm going to eat down the little bit of nest egg I have, the little bit of income I have, to go back and wonder if these people are going to give me a class. Now, this is not a new position. I told you I came into this landscape fighting on behalf of contingent workers. And so this is just the way a lot of professors are treated now, because they have flipped the script. 70% of that professors are actually contract workers as opposed to being tenured. So it's been a while since I've been in this place, but this is where I'm at. So now the concept that of having my own school is being pushed in my face even harder. And so I've been tussling with myself. If I were to have my own school, what would that be? Because Ghana's educational structure is very different than the U.S. structure, even in its worst schools, okay? This is a whole different other ball game. And so it's on my heart because Pastor Bache said to me, when you're ready to let him know what was needed to make that happen. Well, Pastor Tony, this is what I need. I need to spend some time actually doing a little bit of an environmental scan. I've been to various schools here. I've never been invited to speak, although I've been generous and donated things and invested in them. I've never actually just had a day where I was kind of a fly on the wall set and watched the flow of a day. And I've never had an opportunity to meal among the ancillary staff. You know, your support staff is as vital as your teachers in many ways. I haven't had an opportunity to do that. I haven't stood outside the school and watched the number of children that go to school and stay and the number of children that go to school and sneak out, because the health of a school is often reflected in the children's eagerness or um, desire to be there. How much do they like these schools? What's going on with these schools? So I haven't really had an opportunity to sit at the worst. You know, when I was in South Africa, I went to a little farming school called Becky Timber. And it was poor and it didn't have the best and it needed chairs and the bathrooms was terrible, but the kids were thriving and the teachers were amazing and they had the highest math score. And when it was time for exams to complete, they were scoring better than schools that had great facilities. But I also had a chance to go to Piet Retief and do professional development 2 separate times for one of the best schools in South Africa. So that gave me a nice lens. I was at one of the best. I was at what was considered a struggling. And then I was invited initially to a school that fell in the middle. So I had already had an opportunity to do some sort of pop-up teaching there, co-teaching with the teacher there while I was in South Africa. I've taught in Uganda because I structured what was a parent university. And so I had an opportunity to teach some of those adults some of our techniques. And I had the wonderful honor of teaching in Tanzania. A book club was started in my honor. I named it after my sister, the Pammy 8 Book Club. And the goal of that book club was for the youth to read 8 books within a year because she was 8 when she left here, and to be able to basically share in a book club format what they was learning, and also to help reinforce their English. So I've had various experiences. So I had a feel of those schools. I haven't had a feel of Ghanaian schools. So I still don't know that this is where I should build a school. That's what I'm getting at. Or where I should want to partner with a school that's already in place and help strengthen its fiber. And again, I haven't been asked to do any of that. So I know for sure in this next decade, I need to be where I'm well received and respected. And I would need to build a team of people. I need a team. A team to me, at least 7, because Christ left us that 7 disciples. At the minimum 3, okay, because you need that odd number just to offset the 2, and to sit with some people that think about school holistically, so that they can help me understand what does it mean to be a student in Ghana. What does it mean to be an educator in Ghana? What does it mean to be educated in Ghana? And then what am I bringing to the table? Because I don't want to repeat the model that's already here. But I also don't want to bring a model that's so extreme and so stressful to the educator that they struggle to implement it. Now, maybe one of the things that the universe is telling me is because of Wonderland's Naturals, perhaps I should just build something that hoists us online, and that's part of the drive, that I actually take the concept of an online school and allowing youth to study online more serious. There are lots of girls who struggle to go to school because of their menses and they lose lots of time in school. Of course, girls lose school because they get pregnant. And in the U.S., we have programs for them. We have schools that are structured just for girls who have children. We have schools that take in consideration that girls have separate challenges once a family structure is there, and or that they're developing. You know that we have girls that get sick, girls that need special attention that way. Perhaps that's a way, a type of school I can bring. We have schools that are structured to allow girls to go away and come back and pick up education where they left off, but not where they're in lower grades. Because when we visited Lilonia, the girls would leave and come back, but they would be put into a lower grade. So that if they are 15, they're in seventh grade, which really, if you're in seventh grade, you're more like 12, 13. So it's some other things maybe I can bring to the landscape, but I am taking Don Slim and Pastor Boache, as well as my husband, very serious on this idea. I think I've worked for other institutions enough. 6 months, no assignment, no hint of an assignment. And I am getting emails and this and that, and I am being notified to complete various trainings, but I'm not gainfully employed. So the idea of returning to the U.S. has lessened even more. The U.S. is answering me even more about that. And so this is my update on that. Um, I think this is good stuff. You shouldn't make any decisions without really, as Christ would say, or Peter would say, make your election sure. And so part of making your election sure is putting great thought into what it is you're doing, because I can tell you I'm not a quitter. If I get in it, I'm going to get in it, and I'm going to throw myself all the way in it. Anything I get involved in, I get passionate about. So I'm definitely a personality that needs to be sure. What I am sure is I'm a qualified educator, and that I'm an edu activist, and I'm sensitive to not only culture but also gender disparity, so that a lot of the things that go on, we can get girls up to speed without losing our boys behind, and have stimulating curriculum on all ends, where youth can be competitive and think outside the box, get some of this technology in their hands, where it's not taking over, but it's not being lost, because this is the world that we live in. So let's see what I come up with. But either of these two beautiful men are welcome to contact me and let me know if they're willing to be a part of that team. But I need a league. I need me a team to support me and help me have a greater vision on what this educational landscape looks like in Ghana. All right, I'm signing off.